They were the shots heard and seen around the world. First one, then another, and another. 5 in all, giving the United States team the Women's World Cup Soccer Championship over Japan last Sunday by the score of 5-2. It was an unparalleled achievement, not just on the pitch, but also on television. Almost 27 million viewers watched the game in the U.S. That's more people than the NBA Finals in 2010 or the World Series in 2004. So for the moment, women's soccer is the game to watch. And here's the most important part, it's the game to play, especially in Southern California. One of the most beautiful parts of the beautiful game is the fact that it can be played almost anywhere by just about any number of people, which is what has made indoor soccer called futsal such a sensation in the greater Los Angeles area. This is the UrbanFutsal LA Stadium near the Silver Lake District and just west of downtown Los Angeles. Almost every evening there are 5 versus 5 games here. There are men's teams, women's teams, and co-ed teams. There are even pickup or meet-up games open to people who just have a free Thursday night and they'd like to kick the ball around. It's a way to have fun and be healthy. It's coming up today on Midday Sunday. Good Sunday morning, everybody. Later in this program, we're going to be talking about the new change in the ethnicity of California now that Hispanics are the greatest or the largest ethnic group compared to whites. We'll deal with that later. For now, this is pretty thrilling. We have never had these many people on this program at one time. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they are all, you're all futsal players, right?
Yes.
This is John Lee. You are the man at UrbanFutsal LA.
Correct.
And then, why don't you just name yourselves as we go along the way?
I'm Lauren.
Rebecca. I'm Catherine.
Catherine and?
I'm Mary.
And you're all soccer players?
Yes.
One of the things that most intrigued me about futsal and urban futsal in particular is that you have co-ed games.
Yes.
Tell us about co-ed soccer.
Well, to tell you the truth, the reason why co-ed soccer is really popular is because it allows girls, obviously, that love the game to be able to play. And it brings a different element to it because there's always the extra competitive side of the sport, and then there's the recreational side, and co-ed kind of brings the best of both. And so, guys love to play soccer, and at the same time, they love hanging around with girls, so it kind of just naturally makes sense.
Well, the girls love hanging around with guys too, right?
I would hope so. Gotta ask them that.
Wait. She's getting kind of... earlier in the lobby, Catherine, you and I were talking about there's kind of different lineups in the way women play or compete against men?
Right, so in the co-ed league, I think generally the rule is you have to have minimum of 2 women on the court at any time. We have an all-women's team, so we have 5 on the court at any given time.
And you have played against men?
Yes, every Monday.
Co-ed men or just a 100% men's team?
Both, actually. Well, in the co-ed league, it's co-ed, so it's men and women. But on the Thursday night pickup that you guys mentioned, it's very often all men.
How do the men do against you? Or is it the other way around?
They struggle.
Is it different? Any of you, whoever feels like answering, just pop in. Is it different? Is your strategy different when you're playing against men?
No, just to win.
Yeah, that's always the strategy, is do what it takes to win.
But are men unique? Do they have certain attitudes or things that they bring to the game that make them maybe more predictable? Or less predictable?
Well, they tend to be a bit more on the aggressive side, but that's kind of why I like it. It gives me a little bit of a chance to get some aggression out myself.
Yeah, because you can't tell here, but you're tall.
Yes.
And I don't know that I would want to meet you and wait at me in a bar someplace.
Yeah, I feel like that's where I actually have a strength on the court, is I can be probably a bit intimidating, and I do find that I tend to mark the larger guys when I'm on the playing course and everything. But
forgive me, not only here but at home, forgive me, there's also the prettiness factor, the charming factor. Does that come into play at all?
It has to come into play.
I'm thinking on the court, it does not come into play. No. You're out there, you're there to play, and we're not looking like we're not there in makeup.
Yeah, it's usually after work too. So, you know, you've had a long, hard day and all you want to do is play with your teammates, do your best out there. And so you kind of just go in, you know, just expecting to play hard, not worry about how you look, but just get the job done.
I'm not sure that we've rolled any, but if we can, we should roll some of the video that we shot earlier of a game. You play in a very small field.
That's correct.
Talk to us about the basic rules of the game.
So the game is called futsal, and it's 5-a-side, and it's very similar to soccer as most people know it, but the fact that it's usually played indoors on a hard surface, and it's a smaller court, and so because of that, it makes you think and react a lot quicker than you would typically when you're playing on a larger field, and you focus on more technical type movements, and so because of that, a lot of countries, and it's now starting to include the U.S., have started to implement futsal into the youth development program because it emphasizes kind of tactical and skills over athleticism. And other than that, there's a few little bit nuances, like obviously if you're playing indoors and it hits the ceiling, and it's, you know, there's a timeout and you take it off from the side. But other than that, other than those kind of minor differences, it's really similar.
What about the walls?
You do not play off the walls, so it's just like regular soccer. There's an out-of-bound line that goes around the border.
And then, as with conventional soccer, you have a designated goalie. Which are any of you goaltenders?
We take turns.
Yes.
I'm actually not wearing my normal wedding ring because I got a bone bruise playing keeper, so
Yeah,
I can't fit it on.
But now you're more petite.
Yes, I am.
Wouldn't you
Don't
be?
let that fool you.
Yeah, don't. She's tougher than me.
What about referees?
Yeah, so typically there'll either be one or two referees that officiate the game, and they don't really have to run as much, right? So their job is a little bit easier in terms of they're not running all over the field, but at the same time, because the action is a lot more quicker and faster paced, they have to be really on top of their game the entire time. There isn't really any kind of a lull period in the game.
What about substitutions? Are there any?
It's a quick change kind of thing. So,
And on the fly, kind of like in hockey?
yeah, very much like that.
Exactly.
And typically, how long is a game?
We played 25-minute halves.
So a total of 50 minutes.
Yes.
And by the time you're in the second half, is there any flopping going on?
Are you
Not
Never
on our
from this
side.
team.
Yeah, not on our
Usually not. And plus, the game actually for futsal, it's a little bit less emphasis on kind of the physical aspect. And so you're not really supposed to be doing as much kind of like tackling and upper body. And it's a little bit less, supposed to be a little bit less physical in terms of kind of contact. But our league, for the most part, because we have varying levels of skill and some of the guys and girls are really high level, the referees tend to kind of let them play a little.
And the other thing I noticed was that there's quite a bit of interest in futsal here in Southern California. There's a lot of indoor soccer playing.
Yeah, right. I think there's a combination of factors. One is just, there's limited real estate in LA and California in general, right? And so because of that, there aren't this huge amount of parks and places that they can play at. And so I think by necessity is one. And at the same time, I think the interest in the game and the fact that people, especially coaches and people that really know the game, are starting to recognize that futsal really helps to develop skill. They are emphasizing, coaches are emphasizing it more, parents are emphasizing it more for their children, and even people that have been playing the sport for a long time, like myself. I play both, and I play futsal because it actually helps my game improve.
I see the ladies are all nodding. Do you all play outdoors as well?
Yeah,
We do.
All right, we need to take a break. It's one of those things. It's kind of like, at the half kind of thing. Except in this case, it's kind of the third. So we'll be right back. We'll be right back. Stay with us, please. So if your interest has been piqued by what we've been talking about here, futsal, first of all, we need to show you a website. This is the website. This is John's website. This is the UrbanFutsal LA site, and it is at
www.urbanfutsal.la.
Right. And if you missed that, you'll find the link at our site, which is myfoxla.com, or you can download the app. It's the Fox 11 News app, and that'll connect you up here as well. Now, are we going to come and talk now, talk some more here now, or are we going to go to another break? We're going to chat some more here. Wonderful. I should ask you, what did you think of the U.S. women's team's win? Let's start up here.
It was incredible. It was absolutely amazing. I was fortunate enough to be there in Vancouver at the match. and I'm tearing up just talking about it right now. It was tremendous, once in a lifetime.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. I actually played against Carly Lloyd in college, so when she scored 3 goals, I got to use that a little bit with my family.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I had to watch it from here in LA. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it to Vancouver, but it was, I mean, I was crying. It was amazing.
What I recall in some of the interviews with some of the ladies from the team is that they were talking about how they were inspired and that they had all had times in their lives when they didn't feel that they would ever be able to emerge as world-class soccer players. Do you find that this is inspirational for your aspirations?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, to see someone have a hat trick like that is like every athlete's dream in a game. It was so amazing. So I think it's really cool to see them succeed.
Now, I happen to have been at the World Cup game, the women's games in 99. It was at the Rose Bowl.
99.
At the Rose Bowl. And the thing that intrigued me, I think they played China.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in the crowd where I was at, as the Chinese team came out, everybody starts booing. And most of the real hardcore soccer fans were saying, "Shut up, shut up. This is world-class play." Yeah?
All right.
Yeah.
Where is this sport going to go? Are you seeing an increase in interest at the stadium?
I think so. And kind of like what we're trying to do at UrbanFutsal LA is, so our slogan is called Blending Art and Sound with a Beautiful Game. And what we're really trying to do is we're trying to combine graffiti art with music, with urban culture, with soccer. And so what we're trying to do is trying to share the game beyond just the hardcore natural soccer fans that are always going to play no matter what, with a little bit of a different demographic. And at the same time, it's like if you're in LA, you're here for a reason, right? You're here for the LA experience, the cultural diversity, the music, the excitement. And so why would you go play in a basketball court or park that is in any city in Smallville, USA, right?
Yeah.
If you're going to be in LA, get the LA experience, right? I mean, you know, Korean tacos were invented here in LA, right? Right? There's a reason for that, right?
I thank you all for coming and being with us and taking away time from your busy day. We're going to repeat the info about how to contact you. And I salute all 4 of you ladies. And I salute you for being on the forefront of this movement here in Los Angeles, because it's vitally important. And the next time you're driving around the city, no matter where you may live, you see a vacant lot and you see some kids out there in the dirt kicking a ball around. It's great stuff, huh?
Exactly.
Congratulations, ladies. Congratulations, John.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Stay with us, because coming up, we're going to talk about the changing ethnicity of California. That's just on the other side of this message.